Welcome to this edition of Labor Vision. I'm Bob Delaney, Executive Director of the Institute for Labor Studies and Research. Labor Vision, a production of the Institute, focuses on topics of importance to working Rhode Islanders. We hope you enjoy this edition. Welcome to this edition of Labor Vision. I'm Bob Delaney, the Executive Director at the Institute, and this is our third edition of What's Up at the Institute. I am so pleased today to be able to share the thoughts and ideas and what's happened at the Institute with the staff of the Institute. Today I'm co-hosting this program with Erica Hammond, and you've seen her on a wide variety of Labor Vision show programs, but she's also going to talk today about some of the programs that she's involved in that we had during the summer, as well as the staff with Sabine and Fatima and Lorina, who have really committed their time and expertise to ensuring that our programs continue, but not only have they continued, but we've expanded our virtual training programs. So I'm really pleased to start this edition of Labor Vision on What's Up at the Institute. Erica, with you. Thank you for co-hosting, for doing all the technical stuff in the background, but also for, in particular, our Career Academy with the building trades.
You're welcome. We should talk about that a little bit, because I know that Fatima, you can talk about the Virtual Career Academy as well, the education professions piece. But the part that Bob and I worked on was the building trades piece. And I think that we were nervous at the beginning, only because we kind of had a short window to prepare it all. But with the help of both Building Futures, Rhode Island, and some of our friends from the building trades, we were able to make it a really big success for, I think it was about 100 participants. So we had, it was 5-week training, and there was different students in each week. So it was 5 different cohorts, a different one each week, and it totaled to almost 100 participants. And for the building trades, we were able to each day introduce we started with an introduction into apprenticeships, and then we moved into really focusing on a different building trade each day. So a huge thank you to the folks at UA 51, the plumbers and pipe fitters, who joined us on all 5 weeks. They were able to join us, as well as Scott Duhamel from both the Rhode Island Building Trades, as well as the IUPAT, the International Union for Painters and Allied Trades, as well as we were able to get folks from the laborers, right, Bob?
Joe Caparca was with us every week.
Yeah, he was with us every week as well. And a huge thank you, like I said before, to Building Futures Rhode Island, Andrew Cortez and Casey Johnson, who were able to join us on definitely the first week, and Casey was able to join us on the rest of the weeks as well. They were a huge help as well.
Yeah, I think we were lucky. We actually went and had the videographer go to UA 51, and Tim Byrne, who has recently just retired or is in the process of retiring as the business manager for UA 51 plumbers and pipe fitters. We did a videoed segment that we were able to show students on apprenticeship and on UA 51 plumbers and pipe fitters, which is such a broad area of industrial certifications. And John McMullen and Paul Alvarez worked with us on that, and it's interesting that Paul Alvarez is becoming the new business manager for UA 51. So I'm so pleased that they were able to continue their years of commitment to the Institute. We offered this face-to-face. We have a pathway to building trades apprenticeship, but it was different to be able to create this online virtual pathway and career academy. I think we were lucky in many ways, Erica, because collectively we were able to create a library of videos that allowed students to go in, look at them, get the assigned questions, come back and do the assignments, and check in with both us and people in the building trade. So thank you for the work that you did on that. I want to give special recognition to both Andrew and Casey at Building Futures, because generally, if somebody asks us to do training, I always say yes, and then I say, okay, so what do we do now? Because we know we have this array of trainers, and we went immediately to Building Futures, and Andrew and Casey chipped in right away. We designed the program. They worked more closely with us during the first week, and then we brought the building trades people in. So it was well organized. Thank you for the work that you did on it. And Fatima, you were responsible for the pathway to professional teaching occupations.
Yes. Yeah. So it, you know, in the beginning it was a little bumpy because it was not thrown together, but it was so short window of time to prepare for this. But I think it worked out really well in the end. By the second week we had it. So we were able to have a person to talk about the teaching assistant program, or to become a teacher assistant, what that is like. And one was a teacher and what it's like to be a teacher, and what, you know, what things you need to do to become a teacher. And the other was also a school nurse. So we're really able to put a lot of different things together to for these individuals to explore as a career in the education field, and also a person that covered how to be prepared to get into that field once you've decided that's what it is you want to do. So all the days that we had, you know, covering this sector, it was covered very well by each individual in those areas that they are, you know, they know well.
And it was
So
interesting because I think that the school nurse that we had, who does the school nurse portion of our TA program, was really able to bring together the role of a school nurse, but also of a school psychologist, of a school counselor, but particularly at this time when COVID is having such an impact.
Yes.
And, you know, I think it's a very difficult transition right now for teachers and students that's taking place. But we were able to kind of preface our comments to our TA people around COVID.
And I think that was really good that they presented that and contextualized in our, you know, lives right now, what's going on. So that made it much more personal to the students as well. And she was great, you know, and also sometimes using humor, you know, in spite of all the stuff that's going on. So it was really well done. And I think we also learned a lot, what things we want to change and things that we can improve on and things we want to leave out, whatever. And I think that's true with everyone. So for next time. So it was
Thank you, Fatima. And I think you're true. Your comment about our curriculum oftentimes is evergreen when we do face-to-face instruction. Yeah. And so too in virtual, that we find that things we can add, things that we can delete, things that we can compress. And that brings me to, Erica, a conversation between you and Lorina, because one of the organizations that we worked with this summer was Tri-County. And we are continuing a year-long relationship with them. But our first relationship was around the issue of a program that we've been running for. We've had a form of health and safety training at the Institute for more than 25 years. It started with adults, but now we run a series of health and safety training programs for youth. It started during the summer. Now we run it all year round, but with a real focus on the summer. So Erica, maybe you and Lorina can talk about, it started with Tri-County and it expanded this summer, or we did it virtually with a significant number of students. So the two of you can maybe fill people in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So just before COVID and everything kind of hit, we had been in constant communication with Justin Moranis from Tri-County Community Action Agency. And I know that he was hoping that we'd be able to expand our partnership significantly, or their partnership with the Institute, and figure out ways that we can do that. So one of those ways was figuring out how we can offer the health and safety training year round. And it just so happened that then a few weeks later, we were able to hire Lorina, our new director of health and safety for the Institute, and who will be able to facilitate that new partnership and offering this training year round. So Lorina, do you want to talk a little bit about how both the training has gone over the summer, as well as the communication you've been in with Tri-County and making this a year-round training that can be offered not only to Tri-County year-round, but other organizations.
Yes, thanks for having me, Erica. I'm Lorina Harte, and I'm the coordinator of the Health and Safety Training Program. Over the summer, we were able to offer the program virtually to over 15 organizations, and we trained over 778 youths. The training went quite well. We were here the training was a 3-hour training, which was divided into 5 core sections: wage and hour labor law, know your rights on the job, occupational health and safety, workers' compensation, and sexual harassment. Tri-County was one of our biggest participants. They had just about 200 youth participated in the program. Each participant received a kit, which includes handouts and data, and they can use for resource as they venture into their new career or their new job. And also they would receive a certificate of completion. So this summer program was done through Rhode Island Skills for Youth program through the Governor's Workforce Board. And so we were just happy to have all the organizations that participated, the youth. They were awesome, they participated well, and we just want to say thank you to all of them.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be able to facilitate a few of those trainings with Lorina, and it was exciting to be able to offer this through Zoom and not to make it so that this summer, with everything going on, the current state of things, that I was nervous that we weren't going to be able to offer this training, but being able to switch it virtually and actually have students still engaged was really exciting, because it's all very important information that everyone should have.
I think you guys did a wonderful job too, Lorina. To come in cold turkey in March and actually get hired 3 days before we shut down. It took you almost 2 months, maybe even 3, to literally be in a room with everybody on staff at different times, because even at this point, you have never been in the room with everybody on staff at the Institute. I think yesterday was our closest day.
We got pretty close.
So I want to thank you for that, because you know, this has been a baptism of fire, to say the least, for you to come to the Institute, adopt a program, and then make it virtual. So you've done a great job. And I think we all appreciate the amount of time and effort and commitment that you have made, which really adds to the Institute. Do you have any other observations that you'd like to make around the health and safety, particularly the fact that we're going to continue it throughout the year?
We will, throughout the summer, Erica and I worked very hard of sort of revisiting the modules and made some changes, and we have been receiving feedbacks which were quite helpful. We are going to focus more on engagement, making sure that the program is engaging, the training is engaging since it's done virtually, and just continue to improve on that. From the feedbacks we have received, we did a good job, and I just want to say thanks to Erica. I couldn't have done this without her, for all her help, and also for the other staff members too, who sat in the program and helped monitor to answer questions. I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lorina. I think that, you know, I appreciate your comment in terms of the entire staff, because I can tell you that it is the staff of the Institute that makes the Institute what it is. It's their commitment and time and effort. And I think it's really important at a time when we're talking about what's up at the Institute to recognize that, because we have not only undergone a significant transition into virtual training, but we have designed training at the exact same time. We've modified the training. And I think no program shows that manipulation and transferability and ability to be able to, what's the new word, pivot on the spot, more than our ESL class, our English Second Language program that has been offered at the Institute for more than 40 years. And over those years, we've had only 3 directors, and the third director after 40 years, or in that 40-year span, is Sabine. Sabine, Adrian, you've been with us for several years now and have really done an outstanding job of going from a position where you helped to coordinate a program and you taught ESL to now managing the entire program with a staff of teachers that are just so committed. I can't help but recognize all of the staff members in all of our programs, but particularly our ESL students, the staff, because they have a passion for this. Many of our teachers have been with us for a long time. When there's an opening, it's really not difficult for us to find an ESL teacher, because I think the Institute has a fine reputation for the quality of the work, but that reflects back on your ability to be able to select the right people and design and implement the program. So what would you like to tell us about the program for English Second Language students, Sabine?
Thank you. We are doing fall semester enrollment at the moment. And you're right that teachers, ESL instructors have worked really hard to adjust their classes to the online format. We're doing all of our classes virtually again this semester. And we are accepting new students, starting classes next week. We are offering 3 levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced. And working with SCIU to do a class specifically for childcare providers on Saturdays. So the way you can find more information is to go to our website, which Erica is pulling up. And on the homepage, you can just click on English classes and it'll bring you to our program page. It's right there at the top. And you'll see a photo of students, the dates for the semester towards the bottom, and then our contact information. So you can contact myself or Margarita, and we can help anyone interested enroll. We also have a registration form that you can click directly to on that site. So that's about it. We're charting new territory. It's a new year. We did start ESL classes online last spring and continued through the summer. We did a 6-week summer program, and now we're continuing on this fall. So continuing to improve how we do it. Just like Lorina mentioned, for health and safety, we're always thinking about how to make things participatory and engaging online, and help the participants learn to their best ability on Zoom and on all these different platforms available.
I think it's important too, Sabine, that we talk about in terms of that program for speakers of other languages, English speakers of other languages, or English students who speak other languages. And it's important to recognize not just the work that the Institute and the instructors have done in designing, modifying, and implementing a virtual training program, but even the support of the staff, particularly Margarita, who were able to create the backroom support technology, whether it is the computers, the iPads, the Google Classroom, the Google Library. These were all created in a matter of, we had the first forms of them within a week, but for the last 3 months, it really has been a miraculous kind of transition to a full comprehensive online virtual program in English language. I think that she has created through Google Classroom libraries and websites for each individual page, supportive virtual pages for resource materials. Teachers have had to do a quick turnaround as well. And she supported those teachers in making sure that they had the support that they needed for technology. With technology, we purchased computers. We gave the background and professional development to our teachers to be able to do it. And the interesting thing now is that you have a new semester coming. What we're doing is even further enhancing those kinds of technologies. But I note that you're also looking at what are the other things that we can do virtually to support our students. And I think you've added classes in communication and other ways of students being able to use English language effectively through repetition and application.
Absolutely. Yep. Conversation class for the higher levels is an exciting new thing we're doing this semester throughout the fall. And it's true. Margarita has really been really important to helping students navigate how to join the class, how to use, their cell phone to connect or their computer. It's been very important to offer that support to students, bilingual in Spanish and English. And so she's really helped people succeed as we're all learning how to use all these new tools. Yeah.
And I think we even recognize now that even for our instructors, we have the ability, whether it's through data input or instruction, that our instructors could really be anywhere in the world and teaching our students in a virtual platform. And it's opened the doors to be able to give a broader, more integrated program in our ESL program. And I really want to thank you and the staff for the work that they've done in taking many of our students who are probably the lowest level English performing students. They are the students who have the least amount of English language skills, and being able to make that transition successfully with them, because I know how committed they are and how committed you and the staff are. So it's a good match.
Yeah, it's definitely the toughest for the, absolute beginner levels to not only enroll in class, but then learn the computer skills to be able to do it online. So everybody's working hard. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
no, they truly are. And I want to go back to Fatima for a minute because we are having some conversations now. We have two things at the Institute. One is our teacher assistant training program. And we are looking now how we might be able to leverage the opportunity for people who have lost their jobs through COVID to possibly receive certification through the Institute to become teaching assistants. But I'm not quite sure that most people realize that the Institute, through our partnership with Higher Ed Partners, we're able to offer a no-cost bachelor's degree and associate's degree for people who are entering programs and are involved in programs at the Institute. So we're really trying to find a way that our teacher assistants are able to enroll in a long-term pathway to becoming teachers. It's a full integrated online degree program through Eastern Gateway Community College and through Central State, and we're hoping to even broaden those out. But those two institutions have a partnership with organized labor and with the Institute, consequently then through the Institute, so that we are able to offer those people that opportunity. And if they have any questions, they're able to contact you, Fatima, at the Institute.
Yes, yeah, the program has grown a lot, the TA program, and a lot of those individuals come with college degrees, associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, in all kinds of fields, and many are very interested in becoming teachers themselves. So this is a perfect opportunity for them. So that's working out really, really well.
One of the things, and you just brought it up, and I think it's important for people to know that we have a partnership with two different firms in Boston, where people who come to the United States with degrees that have been acquired from universities and colleges outside the United States, when they come to us, we are able to evaluate with our partnership the equivalency, the college degree equivalency, the college credit equivalence of those university degrees. And we've had situations where I think, you know, you would know this better than I would in terms of the school district, where we had people who came in who had master's degrees and beyond, became teacher assistants, and then were provided the opportunity to become teachers.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's still happening, and in fact, one right now. And so there's a shortage of teachers, and they were a perfect fit, and they could substitute as teachers, not just as TAs any longer. And that gives them an opportunity to apply for these programs. So they do have their documentation translated and evaluated, eventually credentialed, and so that they can participate in these programs, or they can get certified here eventually.
Yeah, I'm really glad. Thank you for the work that you did on that. We're taking a look now, through our partnership with the Rhode Island Department of Education, and through our online Bachelor in Education degree at Central State, we're taking a look at how TAs, teacher assistants, who would like to become teachers, who enroll in the online program. RIDE has been really effective and a true partner in helping make that transition effective, so that teacher certification is a reality for people who complete that program. And in many ways, what we're seeing is that we're able to have more people in the teaching profession who reflect the faces of the students that they teach because of this program, and people who are coming with degrees that in math and science and biology and chemistry, who would be so valuable as teachers with that professional background.
Yeah, I'd have to say that as far as I know, Sabine, as well, we are the only TA program in the state that really focuses on English language learners with those degrees, with a high level of English communication also, that are participating in our program. So we really designed it to work with them and to move them along and use those skills that they bring with them from their countries, those academic skills and professional skills, and transfer those here. And so, and at the same time, they are representing the classroom, the student body, both linguistically and culturally. And then they come also with these academic skills. I mean, it's just a perfect match, and the schools are really in need of these individuals.
I think you created relationships. When we do this program, we make sure that the union representing the teacher assistants and the union representing the teachers, because that partnership between the TA and the teacher is so important. We make sure that they're involved in our program, so that in reality, we have the union representing the teacher assistants, the union representing the teachers, and the HR department at the school department. So working hand in glove.
Yes.
Thankful for that partnership that you created among them. We've been able to make that transition, because in reality, we can have all the visions we want. If we don't have those partnerships among the school departments and RIDE and the unions representing the TAs and the teachers, this wouldn't be possible.
I agree. And, you know, a lot of my work is about problem solving. It truly is. And seeing where the problem is and how can I solve that. And I have to say, I don't think that we could be so successful without those partnerships with the schools, right, with the different school districts. And they embraced it. It was just perfect. And that really changed everything. So those are very important. You're right.
Fatima, when is the next TA class starting?
So the next TA class starting September 29th, and we have a very high volume of participants already, that we're even going to have 2 classes, but we run classes every month. I can share on a screen some of the dates that we have.
Please do.
And you can also, just like you did before, Erica, these are the dates you can share. You can go to the website as well and look us up on our TA page. And you can, we have a form on there, but these are the dates that we have so far for this year. And you can just visit our website and just register right from there, and we'll contact you.
And I think it's important too, Fatima, that we actually have some funding for some individuals that we've been able to allocate for people who are coming in through our ESL classes.
Yeah.
Erica, anything else that you want to add?
That actually, pulling up that schedule reminded me of a question that I have for you, Sabine. I know that with the fall semester around the corner, is registration complete? Or I know you've been doing it this week, but when do you stop taking students?
So we're continuing to take students. So if people are interested, they can still contact Margarita or myself to register. We'll be accepting new students for the next couple of weeks, and may do rolling enrollment this year. But I encourage anybody who's interested to contact us, and we will set up a registration appointment. Everything is by appointment now. And
okay.
Thank you.
What's the easiest way for them to contact you, Sabine?
So on the website, there's phone numbers and emails for Margarita and myself. So either call, text, email, we'll get back to you. Any of those is fine.
And also, Lorina, I know that you will be starting to reach out to other organizations, and hopefully organizations will be reaching out to you, but what is the best way for, if an organization hears about this health and safety training, they're interested in offering it, if they have participants to their youth participants, how can they get in touch with you?
Again, they can call the Institute, or me at lhart@riilsr.org, and we'll get back to them.
Okay. We can share your email along the bottom of this screen as well, so they'll be able to see it.
And Lorina, I think it's really important that people know that this training for youth is so important, because there are state, federal, and regulations around what 14 and 15-year-olds are legally allowed to do, their hours of work, especially when they're going to school. But one of the things that impresses me most about the training is that sometimes you get teenagers who are asked to do particular jobs by their employer that it's not okay. It's a health and safety related issue.
Yes.
And some of them are pretty minor, but it's important issues around who can use a fryolator and who can use cut meat, and who can pump gas. And they may seem insignificant until somebody gets hurt.
Yes, yes. And the training points out that the jobs they can and cannot do pertaining to the ages. So when we were doing the training, a lot of them was like, well, I'm doing this, or, and they were quite surprised that they can't do the job, but yet still they were doing it. Or if they got hurt on the job, they didn't know that they would probably be eligible to file for workers' comp. So it's very important. And a lot of them were like, thank you for the training, now that I know. So it gives them the opportunity to know. So as they move forward, they are armed with that information.
And it truly is a health and safety issue. And I think, there are many foundations that the Institute is built on, and issues of health and safety and rights in the job and the workers' compensation. Right now, they fold into so well on some of the integrated training that we're giving on COVID. That is so important for both employers and employees right now, because we really want to make sure we don't add to the terrible numbers of people who are passing away because of COVID. And if we can do one small piece to make a difference, then that again is another one of the building blocks of the Institute. And today we had a chance to talk about many of them, whether we're talking about career academies and the building trades and professional education and English second language and health and safety. And I guess I can just tell people that in reality, we have a pretty deep bench of trainers across this country. particularly in Rhode Island. And there are very few kinds of training that we could be asked to do that we can't dig into this bench of trainers who train unions across this country, train union people in particular trades, skills, apprenticeships, and professions. We have one that's kind of on hold right now where we're training people to be housekeepers in a hotel. And that started in March. Needless to say, it stopped like a clock. And we really have some concern for all of these people who work in the service industry who right now, there is just no work for them. And we're hoping that whatever we can do to make their lives a little bit easier, that we all pitch in to do that. So thank you everyone for participating today. Erica, you can bring a close to this.
All right. Well, thank you guys all so much for being on the show. Welcome back, Sabine and Fatima, and welcome for the first time, Lorina, to Labor Vision. I'm glad you guys were all able to join us. But for those of you who are watching from home, you're watching Labor Vision, the at-home edition. This is our third episode of the What's Up at the Institute, so we'll try and do our best to keep you guys informed more regularly about what we're doing at the Institute and everything that's going on with our programs. So if you've missed any of our other What's Up at the Institute episodes, you can find it at our website, which is www.laborvisionri.org. And hopefully we'll see you back here in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Labor Vision. We appreciate your input and encourage your comments. Labor Vision can be seen on this channel 3 times each week: Tuesday at 7 p.m., Thursday at 8 p.m., and Saturday at 5 p.m.